This man, while the woman wasn't paying attention, quietly used a trap net to steal her money. At this moment, Hank hurriedly pulled out the money from the net, but unexpectedly, there was also a mobile phone inside. Then, Hank left this place. Shortly afterwards, when Hank reached a secluded corner, he hurriedly took out his spoils. In the next second, the phone suddenly popped up with a message. To his surprise, Hank's daughter had been taken away by someone. Then the mysterious person told him the address. Meanwhile, the woman who had her money stolen, Mia, used magic to create clothes covered with money. Then she pulled the clothes down to cover her dollars. Soon, Hank followed the address and arrived. On the way, Mia snatched the fake hair from a passerby and put it on her head. She used wall dust as lipstick to draw on her lips. Half an hour later, Hank arrived at the address in the park, but unexpectedly, the money in his pocket had been stolen. After realizing this, for his daughter, Hank had to give up that money. Soon Hank arrived at the agreed location. He immediately angrily knocked on the door in front of him. Hank looked at the daughter tied up in the room. He didn't expect it was his father, Charlie, who took her. It turned out that not long ago, Annie, the daughter, was crossing the road when a car crashed into her uncontrollably. Then Charlie rushed forward and picked up the grandchild. Back to the present, Hank finally understood what had happened. He immediately broke down and hugged his daughter, crying loudly. Shortly afterwards, Charlie walked out of the hospital with a sigh of regret. He told Charlie the news that his granddaughter had fallen asleep forever. Charlie helplessly covered his mouth and began to cry.